Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, I am a love coach specifically for women who want to heal and reconcile with their honey after infidelity. Yes, it is not only possible, I have done it. I have seen plenty of other people do it. It is a possible thing to do. You just have to be consistent with the things that you do to heal. And then the reconciliation is a lot easier once you've done some of the healing. All right. I want you to know about this stuff. I don't want you to feel like you're back into a corner by this situation. You can leave. You can if you want to. If that is what you so desire, that is what you can do. However, I am saying that there is another alternative. You do not have to say, I'm going to kick him to the curb because this cheating has occurred. Okay. You do not have to decide that your whole family has to get blown up because he did something stupid. You don't have to do that. And I want to teach you about how you can avoid that if that is what you desire. All right. So, if you're here with me on Facebook, Love After Cheating, come on in here. Love to see you all here. Hey, Janice, girl, where you been? Hope you been doing good. Everybody that's here with me right now live, go ahead and give me some likes. Let the algorithm know you love me. You want to hear from me. If you are catching this on the replay, hashtag replay so that I know you got here a little bit late, but you still got here. All right. Oh, so glad that you are joining me today. Hello, hello. We are here to talk about reconciliation and forgiveness and happiness after an extreme trauma. You do not have to be so traumatized by this that it ruins all other relationships. You don't even have to be so traumatized by this that it ruins this relationship. You can, in fact, get to a better, happier place together without it being a complete mess and everything being blown up in your life and you feeling like you don't have any choices. You have choices here. You have every choice in the world. Your choice is the only one that really matters in this. People will tell you, you shouldn't stay with him. He's just not going to treat you right. Whatever it is that they're saying in your ear, that's fine. But you don't have to listen to that if what your heart and what your mind are telling you is, I love this person. I want to be with this person. I want to be happy with this person. You can still make that choice. You don't have to listen to other people's negativity and fear speech. You ain't got to do that. You said you're doing? I know that's right. Well, good. I'm glad you're still doing. Glad you're here. All right. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get started, get the basics out of the way, and then like usually it's about the second half I answer questions. So whatever you would like to ask me anything. I am here for you. I am here to show you the path to be able to get out of the dark woods and get to a better place with you and your honey. Okay. So first things first, I'm always going to tell you every single time we get together, because I don't want you to forget it. I want you to do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Janice, you said you're doing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? It's always better when you do your deep breathing. All right. Need you to be doing that. Work on your deep breathing. I need you to be doing that five times a day. Okay. That is a very simple thing that's going to start to help you heal, start the trauma to lessen by training your breath. When you are anxious, when something bad has happened, your body has automatic things that it does, including changing the pattern of your breath and changing the way that your blood flows around your body. If you decide to change that pattern back, the blood flow has to go back the way it was supposed to be in the first place, and you are going to calm down because you are, with your breath, demonstrating to your brain that you are not in any danger. You are actually fine. Everything is all right. All right. So we're going to do our deep breathing. What we do is 4-7-8 breathing. What you're going to do is blow out and empty your lungs completely. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. All right, we're gonna try and go all the way through. Now, first couple times, if you smoke, if you have a hard time with your lungs, if you got allergies, it may be a little difficult the first time, but you will get it. Do it with me a couple of times. I promise you'll have it. No problem. All right. All right. So first things first, we're gonna blow out, empty those lungs, making that noise. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. Janice, you said you're getting a drink. Did you do the deep breathing with me while you were doing the drink? Can't you make the drink and do the deep breathing at the same time? Yeah, we got to look, combine coping mechanisms, okay? Don't just do one, do a lot of them. Right? All right. Let's see, we should feel pretty good after doing the deep breathing. It should make you feel a little clearer. Some people, it makes them a little sleepy. You yawn a little bit. It will change what your brain is assuming is happening around you if you change your breathing technique. If you just slow it down, nice full deep breaths in, full deep breaths out, blowing out all that carbon dioxide that gets built up in your lungs, your body will be convinced that, oh, I guess we're safe. All right. I thought there was a danger around here, but apparently I was wrong. Okay. I guess it's all good. All right. So we need to be doing that. It changes the way that our brain is functioning under this trauma. She said, that's later. I've been sick and not able to breathe as deep. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know. You got allergies and whatnot too. You be getting bronchitis the same time I do every year. Well, do your deep breathing. That's good for your lungs. All right. It's good for you all together. Oxygen is good. Oxygen is good for our bodies. It's good for our brain. So doing your deep breathing is good for you, period. It's good for almost everything. Okay. It's good for pain, emotional and physical. It's good for anxiety. It's good for you to do your deep breathing. So do your deep breathing. Okay. I need you to be working on that. Practice that. Do that consistently. It will tell your brain that actually I'm all right. I am safe. I am not in any danger. I do not need the fight or flight reaction to happen right now. I don't need to fight. I don't need to run. I don't need my blood to flow to my arms and legs so I can fight and run better. I am okay. I am safe. All right. Because most of the time, that's what happens. We are having one of those little panic moments, and it seems like you're really in danger. It feels like it, but there is no actual physical danger around you. If you can start to teach your brain that the emotional damage is not the same as your physical damage, you can start to calm it down a little bit. All right. All right, next thing that I'm always going to tell you to do every time we get together, do your journaling. I need you to sit down 5 minutes, first thing in the morning, last thing before you go to bed, 5 minutes, write in your journal, okay? You can do it other times during the day. I'm not saying don't. I am just saying commit to first thing in the morning, right before you go to bed. Just keeping that 5-minute little routine right before you get out of bed in the morning makes you plan for the day, makes you think about things that might trigger you and how you're going to plan for it. And like anything that you were working on during the night, you're looking at it first thing in the morning. And then at night before you go to bed, get those negative thoughts out of your head, put them down on the paper. And a lot of the time that will avoid you having any nightmares about this situation. It will give you better sleep if you do your journaling in the evening. Okay. So I need you to do that. Can we do our journaling Anybody been here, been doing their journaling? Let me know how that goes for you, okay? My clients, I gotta bully them a little bit, but they do their journaling and it makes a difference. It makes you feel better. So your journaling, you are going to do a couple of things when you're journaling. You're going to do your date, you're going to do your time, you're going to do your level of anxiety before you journal and after you journal, okay? Date and time is so you know when things happen. If you are writing first thing in the morning and writing at night, okay, you know when that is. But if there are other times that come up during the day and you feel like you need to write something down in your journal, you will know the pattern of when those things happen by what time and date it actually unfolded in your journal. You will have a record. Um, and then your level of anxiety before and after you journal. Level of anxiety 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. All is right with the world. It's great. Okay. You want to write that down. You want to put a big old gold star on that day so that you know that those days do exist still. Just because you have been through this trauma does not mean that good days will just disappear forever. They do come back. Okay. And you need to be writing those down when they happen so you can just flip through your journal and be like, hey, there's some plenty of good gold star days there. I actually wasn't doing as bad as I thought I was. All right. Then we are going to do it at the end of our journaling. Level 10. 10 is a loss of control, a loss of you being able to control yourself in your body. You are throwing things, you are screaming, this is a state of, I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is how bad a 10 is. But that's as bad as it can get. That's why we do this, so we can put a fence around those feelings. It can only get that bad. That's as bad as it can get. Me losing it, running the streets naked. That's as bad as it can possibly be. And so then the feelings never get to be Godzilla size. They are never crush the village size. They are just simply monsters that are regular size that we got to deal with. Okay. Write in your journal, your memory is not as good as you think it is when you are traumatized. You will feel like you are crystal clear. You will remember everything, but your brain is really filtering out for the bad things right now. So your brain will start to remember only the bad things that happen and completely ignore good stuff that happens. All right. So if you want to actually reconcile, you're going to have to remember the good stuff happens too. Okay. All right. Next thing after their journaling is I want you to develop an attitude of gratitude. Okay. I need you all to know that your life is not just this trauma. You have good things that you can be happy about, even if this trauma has happened to you. I am working on a 28-day gratitude practice that just started yesterday. And what you do is you take a jar and you take slips of paper and like 2 or 3 a day, start putting them in the jar, filling the jar up. Every day you have something that you are grateful for that you stick in the jar. Okay. And then you come back at the end of that 28 days and reread the stuff that you put in there. I'm telling you, it's a great practice. I've done it before. It makes you feel wonderful when you go back and read because you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I was grateful for this that day. It will strike you. You will say some things when you write it down that will strike you, and you'll be like, oh, life is not as bad as I thought it was. Yeah, the trauma has happened. However, I still have somebody I love. My life is not that bad. I got good stuff happening. All right. When you are traumatized, your brain automatically looks for the negative. It is doing that without your permission. It is automatically seeking out what could hurt you next. And that's fine. That's great that our brains do that. That's super helpful and handy. However, if you are not actually in any danger and you are trying to reconnect with your honey, that's going to be a problem. All right. We've got to calm that down. All right. We've got to get a good grip on our brains and get our brains to stop looking for just the negative things. So that's what we're doing when we're developing that attitude of gratitude every day. Before you put foot to the floor, think of 3 things that you are grateful for, that you are happy about that morning, and live in that during the day. Make your brain focus on the things that you are grateful for so that it is intentionally looking for those things. The more you tell it to look for those things, the more it will look for those things instead of the negative things. All right. So that's why I do Thirsty Thursday, because I want to hear your good news. All right. So if you're with me now, make sure you put in your comments your good news, whatever it is that you are grateful for this week as you are joining me, or put it on hashtag replay. I don't mind at all reading them later on. I love to hear the good stuff, no matter what it is. And I want to share it with you because one candle lights another. If you can share a good thing and something that you are grateful for, other people can think about things that they're grateful for too. It brings it back to mind for other people. So if you tell people positive things, it brings to mind positive things. If you tell people negative things, it brings to mind more negative things for other people. So we're going to spread that light of the good things. Here, let me show you my good things, and then I'm going to spread that light so that you can see your good things too. Okay? So Lori put in the Thirsty Thursday post, she said, "We are laughing more." I am so grateful. That's how you know you're healing up real good. It's gelling. You're in that recreation. You are feeling it. You're almost getting to that like celebration phase where you're ready to put it behind you because you can actually laugh together. You can let loose. You can go ahead and have that flood of endorphins from your laughing together be something that connects you together. I am so excited that you are noticing that, because that's a big milestone. That's a good thing, that all of a sudden you recognize, like, hey, we are together and we are just having a laughing riot on a regular basis. This is a beautiful thing. When you notice that, you're shifting and you're healing. You're getting to a place where you're more comfortable. You're willing to let those walls down. You're willing to reconnect in a very intimate way that is your sense of humor, your laughter. All right. I am loving that, Lori. I am so grateful for that for you too. That is one of our favorite things to do, is laugh. We will choose to laugh together over almost anything. If we're having an argument, we'll go find something on Netflix that's funny. We will try. We try to keep it mindful about laughing together, how important that is to make you feel good together, make you feel like you are sharing an experience and connecting. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Anybody else got anything they're grateful for this Thirsty Thursday? Love it. Well, we got victories. We've got good stuff that happen in our lives. We want to celebrate those victories, okay? We want to share them. We want to celebrate them as much as we possibly can, because if you don't, it's like you're not enjoying your life. Even though negative things have happened, you're still supposed to enjoy your life. You're still supposed to be grateful for the things in your life. So don't get so caught up in the pain that you're not actively grateful for what you have and the things that you've experienced, and even the things that are bad, because without the bad, who can experience the good? So just cling to that idea of being grateful at every point that you can be during the day. Look for things every single solitary day that can make you feel like you are grateful. All right. And it will start to change your brain from that traumatized state back into a more healed state. Yay. All right. So last thing that I'm always going to tell you every single time we get together, honey, you got to stop asking all those damn questions, okay? You have to. It's not doing anything for you. I would say if it did anything good, if it helped you, if it made you feel more confident, if it made you feel less insecure to ask all these questions and get the answers, I would say do it. However, that's not the way this works. What you are experiencing when you are dying to ask the questions, that is a trauma response. Your brain is trying to collect all the information. It is taking this person as a threat, and they are asking this person all the questions because I am taking you as a threat, and I need to know as much as I possibly can about this threat so that next time I will know something bad is happening. That's what your brain is doing. It is not trying to help you heal. I know your brain will tell you, well, I have to have the answers to these questions or else I can't heal. I am here to tell you that that is interfering in your healing. Can I say that one more time for you? You asking all those damn questions is interfering with your healing. You are going and paying attention to what your brain is saying is a threat and acting upon what it wants to do about that threat. That's not healing. That is making sure that you believe that this person is somebody that will hurt you. The more you reinforce that, the worse it gets. So I need you to stop. Okay. I need you to stop. I need you to stop listening to people who are like, you can ask whatever questions you want. You can ask all the questions all the time. And he should just answer all the questions because you deserve that. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve those pictures in your head. You don't deserve to have those answers for him doing something utterly selfish. You don't deserve to have that in your head. You don't deserve to be stuck with the things that he says in a time where obviously he's not in his right mind. He's not doing the right thing. You are going to assume that your relationship is based upon this bad point in the relationship. And it's usually not. Okay. It's not helpful to ask all the questions. I promise you it's not. I want you to stop doing it as a habit. Okay. I need you to ease up on that and tell your brain no. And matter of fact, I want you to stop asking a lot of questions. I want you to try and eliminate question marks from your vocabulary for a few weeks. If you have been dealing with this and you've been asking them a lot of questions and it has just not been working out well, try that. Try living every day and making things a statement instead of a question. Just that action changes that trauma response in your brain. When you stop yourself from asking the question and say, no, 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 no. I don't want to ask a question. Let me see if I can arrange that in a statement. You will either be able to do it or not. You will either realize that you are making an assumption or an accusation and recognize that I probably shouldn't say that if you change it around to a statement, or you will be able to have conversation without it being an interrogation if you are able to switch it around and make it a statement instead. Simple things like, how was your day? Don't ask a question, okay? Don't put question marks where you don't have to. I hope you had a wonderful day. All right. And then that opens up the door. He can tell you about the day if he wants to, or not. Either way, you are expressing a wish for it. You're not asking a question. You're changing the way your brain works. And then your brain pays attention to that for the next question that it's going to ask. Because it's going to come back pretty quickly after that. After you resist the urge the first time, it's going to come back and want to do it again. But if you catch yourself and really start to make yourself flip those questions into statements and not say something, not make a statement that's going to be hurtful or give you give the two of you any more problems, and not using those questions as a cudgel to hit them over the head with, you are going to be in a better place. The relationship is going to be better. You're not going to have as many arguments about this anymore. It is going to be easier to talk about it because you're not constantly accusing, not constantly beating them in the head with it. All right. Does that make sense? You all let me know. See you all over here on Facebook. Oh, man. Now, let me remind you, if you have not received a copy of my guide, How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity, the 6 Steps of the Dreams Formula, I need you to go ahead and get that, okay? It's pinned to the top. It is in the Welcome Wednesday post every Wednesday. If you're over here on Instagram, you just put in PATH in the comments. It will send it to you, okay? You will be able to get a copy. I want you to have that. I want you to have it on hand because it explains in depth the reason why I figured out these 6 steps, why what other people was telling me was not working, and then what did actually work instead. That is what I have laid out for you in the Dreams Formula. Please pick yourself up a copy, okay? Totally free. Absolutely free. I want you to have this information. I want you to be able to break this bad boy open at any point, and whatever is going on in your relationship at the moment, in your path of healing, there is going to be something in that guide that's where you are. This is what you need to do at this point. Okay. It will clear a lot of stuff up for you. If you've been having difficulty, if you've been struggling with this for a while, please go ahead and pick up a copy because is going to help you. Okay, this is what I did. This is what I personally went through. The deciding that I wanted to still work this out. This was my person. I didn't give a damn if he was an idiot and he slept with somebody else. I was like, you're not ruining this love for me. This is something big time. You are not messing this up with your issues. Okay, I was determined that I was going to be able to make that decision, and you are the one who gets to make that decision. Nobody else. You alone get to make the decision of whether this is going to go on or not. Then, if you make that decision, you got to deal with some fear speech inside your own brain and from other people who are going to be like, why are you going to stay with him? Is that a good idea? And the same thing inside your own brain asking you if this is a good idea. But this is your person. You've already made this decision. So it's going to be a little scary because this has been a trauma, but you got to push past the fear to make your decision come into reality. All right. E is for evaluating the why. Why did this happen? What was going on inside him that made him think that this was a good idea? Because it couldn't have been good, right? We all know that there is definitely something going on with somebody who feels like they should cheat on their mate. There's some kind of pain there that they're not dealing with. They have not explored. They have not unpacked that is causing them to feel like, oh, if I chase sex, chase this relationship, I'm going to feel better instead of actually working on my own feelings. Okay. Whatever it was for him, sick, sad, or stupid, some kind of mental or physical illness, some kind of loss, or some kind of stupid thing that he's been told by all of his people about being in relationships, whatever it was, finding the compassion for that is going to help you along the healing path too. Understanding that it was not about you. It was not about not loving you. It was not about the relationship. It was about him and his own pain. If you can come to that understanding, you can have a little compassion. It's a little bit easier to make the decision. It's a little bit easier to not be afraid of the decision. Then there is allowing the healing to happen. The A, that is letting the walls down, putting your ring back on, going ahead and having sex, having intimacy, getting close to one another again. You can absolutely do it, but you got to let the walls down. You got to behave like a couple who is happy to be with each other. You got to actually act like that. When you do that more and more, you convince your brain that that's what you want. That is where you're safe. You are perfectly happy. Everything's all right. And it starts to let down some of the defenses that it puts up when this trauma happens. Then we've got the M, which is managing the future feelings. You are going to be triggered, okay? Because of the fact that this is a trauma, you are going to have triggers. Your brain automatically, as soon as this happened, started making up triggers. Triggers are sensory things that you can see, smell, touch, taste, feel, that will bring you back to feeling the trauma in the first place. Okay, those things can trigger. It can be any old thing. It doesn't have to be anything related to cheating. It can just be something that reminds your senses of when you were hurt from the cheating, and it will bring you right back to that place. You got to learn how to anticipate those triggers. You got to learn what you're going to do about them when you actually have them, what will actually help you and what will make it worse. Managing that is going to be a key to you getting back together, reconciling, being able to get to a better place. And then S is seeking support, getting somebody who knows all of that is the goal and will keep you on that path, who will remind you of your decision, who will not let you fall into the fear, who will remind you to be compassionate and loving about the reasons that this happened, who will tell you to let your guard down and tell you and push you to be closer and try and be happier and more open. You need that person to tell you that. It is hard to do on your own. I did it on my own. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. I did it on my own. It was difficult. Okay. It was super hard to be able to remember all this because that's what I was doing. As I was going through this, I was actually doing this step by step in real time, figuring out the things that worked. And I had to remind myself, I started off with that decision. I had to keep on reminding myself. I had to keep on telling myself not to beat myself up about it. That was the big thing about making that decision, is telling myself, hey, look, this all right. You love this person, and it is all right to love them. It is all right to want to work this out, even if other people wouldn't do that. This is your special thing. This is your life. They can't tell you that this person is not special enough to you to forgive. I had to sit there and work with myself and give myself pep talks and remind myself all the time, which is why I like doing this, because I want to be the one to tell you there's nothing wrong with staying. There's nothing wrong with working it out. You are not making a decision that is bad for your life. You're making a decision that you want to make. And yes, there's plenty of people out there who would want you to feel bad for making that decision, but you are not required to feel any kind of way about how other people feel about your life. You're just not. You're not required. So you can do what you want with your life, and they can just suck it up. That's what they can do. They can just go ahead and suck it up, because they don't have to live with the consequences. You have to live with the consequences. If you know in your heart would break if you weren't with this person anymore, if they were completely out of your lives, if you didn't give them a chance, if you didn't try and forgive them, if you know your heart would be broken on that, why break your own damn heart? No. If you don't have to, don't. If that's not what you choose, then stand firm in that decision. All right. See, that's what I had to tell myself. That's what I like to tell you. I want you all to know that you're not doing anything wrong making a decision for your own life. Okay. You've got to stand on it. You got to be 10 toes down about it, okay? You got to feel it in your heart and believe that you can get to that happily ever after with this person in spite of this pain happening. And, it's hard when other people are telling you bad stuff. That's why you need somebody to support you, to tell you that you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong for loving who you love. You're not wrong for wanting to work your relationship out. You're not wrong for wanting to forgive. You're not wrong for wanting to reconcile. You're not wrong. Okay? You need people to be able to tell you that, to have you understand that, so that you can keep on going down the path. Okay? So I want you to get support. That's why I made up my guide. Okay? If you can't talk to me one-on-one, which you can, okay? If you want to talk to me one-on-one, all you got to do is hit me up. I love talking to you, okay? Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're imposing upon me. Send me a message. DM me anywhere. Love Coach Dasha everywhere. I will talk to you. I don't have any problem with that at all. Doesn't bother me at all. All right? But if you don't know me like that, or you're still a little shy and introverted, and you're just not quite ready to come to me and actually spill your guts about what is happening in this relationship and where you are, that's fine. That's why I wrote the guide, okay? So that you could have it no matter what. Even if you haven't got me in your back pocket, you're not working with me personally, you will know what the guide is. You will know what the steps are exactly for getting back together and having a happy life. All right. All right. So make sure you get that. How to heal and reconcile after infidelity. Like I said, path. If you're in Instagram, just message me the word path, or put comment in the comments path, and it will send you the link to get it. And it is in the pin post in the Love After Cheating group. And if you are on Instagram and you are not in my Love After Cheating group, come on. What are you doing? Come on over here and get in my Love After Cheating group on Facebook, okay? I am there a lot. This is where I am here every single solitary day. I answer questions in the group. So make sure that if you're not in that group, you come on and get in the group. All right? All right. Now it's time for questions. I see y'all up in here. I know you got some questions for me. Please put them in the comments. Let me know what you want to talk about tonight, because I got answers. I got answers for you, man. I want you to feel better. I want you to get to a better place in your relationship, and it all starts right this second. So put your questions in the comments where I can read them and I can give you all your answers, okay? All right, we did the post. We got a couple questions in the post. Every Wednesday in the group, I'm going to post like at 9 o'clock. I'm going to say, hey, Who wants to talk to me? What do you want to find out? And I answer live every week. Okay. So let's see. Tamara was, I think she's the first one that got up here. Tamara said, I know this is a group for healing, but when do you call it quits? He's fine. I'm not. It's been 2 years. And I had to get some more details on that. Because first of all, I don't do breakups. That's not my thing. You can break up very easily. I feel like you stand together, you need a little bit of help with. I don't make that decision for anybody. When you want to call it quits is when you call it quits. If you're just tired, you're just done. This is not your person that you thought they were. This is not the person that you feel is worthy to give your forgiveness to. If you're like, just not, the love isn't there anymore. I can understand that. But if the love is still there, this is somebody you still really care about and you really want to be with, there's no need to try and go breaking up with them to change stuff. That's not really the way it works. You feel like, oh, well, if I break up with them, then somehow things will be better. But if this is still the person that you love and you want to be with them, you're going to make it feel worse for yourself if you go off and kick them to the curb. Okay. So I'd say just slow down about calling it quits. Figure out if this is actually the person that you are willing to forgive or if they're not. And that is when you call it quits. If they're not a person that you're willing to forgive, screw it. But you will know that they're a person that you're like, you know what? I am willing to give this a shot. I am willing to give them my forgiveness. I am willing to give that time to this relationship. If you're willing to do that, then do it. Go for it. You feel like it's worth it. Go for it. All right. But I asked a little bit of more information. I was like, well, what's fine? What problems are we having? And so tomorrow I didn't get to get any more in depth with you earlier, but I'm glad you did fill this out. You say I don't trust him. He's still a liar. Okay. I found out earlier this year he was getting off work, hanging out with coworkers at a bar, even on my birthday. See, I don't have any problem with him hanging out with coworkers at a bar, but yeah, he said, while allowing me to think he was at work, but not on my birthday, and don't lie to me. You can hang out all you want to. Was that it? Was he feeling like he wasn't able to go hang out without telling you? Like, why did he feel like he couldn't do that? And this says he also deletes text from a female recently. He claims it was work related. So it was deleting a text from a female, but you don't have any evidence that it actually was anything untoward. From his perspective, it was a work related text message. All right. So you're assuming, it seems like with all of these situations, it seems like you may be assuming some stuff. You're saying, okay, he's getting off work early to go hang out with friends in a bar. So he's not going to somebody's house. He's actually hanging out with another group of people with friends. He's hanging out at the bar, having drinks with friends. So he's not actually cheating. That is just a group outing. So yes, it is wrong that he is not telling you about it. I understand that you feel bad about that, him lying about it, but I need to know, a lot of the time when they lie about that, it's because they feel like they can't go do anything or else they're just going to automatically be assumed to be guilty of cheating. And then you said the text from the female, you don't know if it was work related or not. Did you see that text message? So you're going through his phone. You know that it was erased, but you don't know what it actually was. And he could be absolutely telling the truth on that, because a lot of the time when you've gone through this trauma, you look at everything as, oh, he's cheating. It's like your brain automatically goes to that. So things that he could be doing that, yeah, they're not great, but they're not necessarily that he's cheating either. You said, also, I forgave him. I was ready to move forward. But when I put the two situations this year together, it just put me back to D-Day. Okay. All right. That's what happened. All right. That's what it is. And I actually talked about that a little bit earlier. What happens is you got triggered. we don't know if he was actually cheating or not. You don't know that at all. You just know that he lied. Yes, absolutely. He's wrong for that. But you don't know that he's cheating, and you're putting yourself way back to the feelings of D-Day from the trigger. That's what happened here. That's what sent you all the way back, is you got triggered now, and it reminded you of the feelings then, and it sent you back in time, in your mind, in your physiology, to when it first happened. So you are real short on temper right now. We are real short on patience. We are real short on understanding and compassion at this point, because we're triggered. We're living in the actual painful moment instead of 2 years later, like it really is. Because it's 2 years later. It is not D-Day, okay? I know that when these things happen, when the triggers happen, it is easy to just get sent right back in time and feel like nothing has changed, nothing has been worked on. But you have been working on this with him for 2 years. You're saying he's fine. He other than these two incidents, and the one of them was earlier in the year, you're saying other than these two incidents, he's been fine. Everything has been okay between you. But it's just the fact that they triggered you that makes you feel like, oh, I just got to call it quits. Because that's the way, that's the first thing your brain says when this happens, when you first get triggered. It's automatically like, oh, I got to run. I got to get away. I don't want to deal with this. This is pain. I don't want to deal with it anymore. It will tell you that, but that's what it said before, didn't it? Didn't it say that? Oh, I got to get out of here. And you still stayed and worked it out for another 2 years. So I'm saying that I want you to put yourself back there and then remember what it was that made him so important that you were like, you know what? I'm going to work on it anyway. There was something that happened even back then, even when you were in the midst of it and you were just feeling it and it was awful. There was still something that made you say, this is my person. I am going to work this out. I'm going to work through this. That happened 2 years ago. It's still the same response. It is still the same thing that is helping you stay there with them. You got to find that thing again. You got to go back into your heart and remember what it was that made you stick around the first time. All right. What happens when we're triggered is it makes you want to do that fight or flight thing, makes you want to run away and break up when that's not really what you want. It's just a fear tactic. It's something to make you feel like, okay, I have control over if I run away, if I'm not around him anymore. I have control then, and nothing bad will happen to me. The idea that nothing bad will happen to me is crazy. Um, our brains try so hard to give us that false reassurance, but that's never been the case. There is nothing that you can do to stop bad things from happening to you. Okay. Even if you decide, okay, that I'm just going to be alone and I'm not going to be around other people and I'm not going to have any love in my life, that is still going to hurt you. Okay. We do not want to live a life where we are restricted by our fears, by our triggers. That's no kind of life to live. If this was the life that you wanted, he is who you wanted. Memories, heartache, be damned. Okay. We got to come back to the reason that you thought that he was worthy of your forgiveness 2 years ago. And then don't let the fresh trigger make you feel like you made a bad decision when you did that. Okay. Does that make sense to you, Tamara? Let me know. You said, I don't know if it's him or our family that I'm in love with, but the memories and the heartache are just overwhelming me. Yeah, that's what's happening. And especially if it's close to like the anniversary of the D-Day. In addition to that, it piles on everything, makes you feel like this is absolutely real. He's just awful. He's a terrible person. He treats me so bad. I don't really want to love him anymore. It will convince you of that, even if that is not the case. So I want you to slow down. I want you to tell me if it is actually coming up on a D-Day. Is it close to the anniversary? Because that's an anniversary reaction. It happens all the time. But you love your family and you love him. There's no separating that. It's not just, you said, I don't know if it's him or our family that I'm in love with. You're in love with both. He created that with you. Of course, you're in love with both. He helped you create it. He is there with you living this life right alongside you. It's just the fact that the memories bring up the heartache, and that trigger gotcha. You just got to work on the triggers. Recognize right now where you feel it in your body, wherever that is. It could be in your chest, it could be in your throat, it could be your head feeling squeezed. Anywhere it is, pay attention to that feeling. And then next time you're triggered, remember, check that area of your body for that feeling to see if you are triggered, because your body will feel it before your brain will tell you about it. You were probably triggered before you even understood consciously that that's what was happening. So if you go back and pay attention to what your body is doing now, where do you feel this feeling, this, oh, I want to run away feeling? Where is it coming from in your body? If you are consistent about paying attention to that spot, you will know when you're getting triggered as it's building up. And you will be able to do something about the trigger sooner. You'll be able to do your deep breathing, do a little bit of exercise, do whatever it takes to calm down that fight or flight response instead of following it. It will lead you some terrible places if you just go ahead and follow the fight or flight response. You don't want to do that, all right? As you are recovering from this trauma, what you have to do is, when you start to skitter on down that way and you start to feel all fight or flighty, you have to recognize that feeling. You have to put on a little calm. You have to do a little deep breathing, get your water together, and sit with those feelings. Acknowledge those feelings and then release them. Decide that they're not helping you. They're not what you want in your life. You would rather be happy and peaceful and trusting with your honey. So start replacing the negative, fearful feelings with what you would actually like everything to be like. If everything were perfect, if he was just absolutely awesome at all times, if he was doing everything you want, how would you feel? How would you behave towards him? Put a lot of detail into it. If you start doing that and start directing your brain towards healed, reconciled, happy, healthy, trusting, forgiving, loving, compassionate, you direct your brain that way instead of at the trauma. And a lot of the time your brain will pick up on what you're trying to do, and it will help you at that point. But until you make it known to your brain, you're just going to be struggling. Okay. So instead of doing that, go ahead and make sure that you are paying attention to what your body says and paying attention to what your brain is saying when you're triggered like this. Okay. And if you got any more questions or you're having a hard time, Samara, hit me up, message me. I got other tips, I got other tricks. Okay. Karen said, I'm feeling so sad. I'm struggling with this. Are you struggling with the same thing too? You got triggered too? It's so easy to have happen. Last week was a full moon, but the effects can linger a little bit. It's hard. It's difficult to do this. It makes you feel like, oh, am I a doormat? Am I doing this wrong? But you're not doing your life wrong. Okay. You're choosing the path that you want to take. And the path that you want to take is love. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's a whole bunch of people out here who would love to take that path, who would love to be able to forgive and move on like you're trying to do, but they're not equipped with it. They're not built that way. If you are built that way and you are capable of it, I say go for it. I say go ahead and have the life and the love that you want with the person that you want, no matter what. All right, no matter how stupid they are, because that's the way I felt about it. That was a big thing with my husband. I was like, you are not ruining this for me. Okay. I found the person. I found him. My whole world shook when I met him. You can't tell me that you're just gonna do this and I'm gonna have to just kick you to the curb and mess up my own fantasy. Are you crazy? I'm not doing that. All right. And that's the way I want you to feel about your honey too. Don't let him ruin this. Don't let his stupidity or the stupidity of generations before him ruin this for you. If this is your honey, you are absolutely right to fight for your love. Okay. All right, ladies. Do we have any other questions? Let me know. Let me refresh, see if there's anybody else wanting to give me questions. If you got any others, if you missed me, you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and put them in the comments. I will answer. I don't mind at all coming back and answering your questions in the comments. Okay? Don't see anybody on YouTube. All right. Don't see any other questions there. All right. You all let me know now. If you need questions answered, I am here for you. Still got a couple more minutes. Well, then I'll start to wind up before. If you got any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. But I'm going to just start to wind it up. Last thing that I always tell you every single time we get together, and I want you to remember to do your affirmations. Have you been doing your affirmations? Have you been saying good things about you? I need you to do that, okay? I need you to work on that. I need you to be committed to that, okay? I need you to do your affirmations. Now, your affirmations are pretty simple. What you're going to do is find an affirmation. I don't care what it is, whatever it is that you want to believe about yourself. Take that thought, remember it, all right? Make sure you can say it over and over again. Then I want you to look yourself in the eye, in your camera, in your whatever, in your mirror. I want you to look yourself in the eye, and I want you to say to yourself, this particular affirmation. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter. Look yourself in the eye, say the affirmation, and then I want you to say it with authority. I want you to say it like you mean it. I want you to say it like it's the most true thing you've ever heard or said in your life. I want you to say it like you're saying it to your best friend and you want her to believe in you. I need you to say it like it's real, even if you don't believe it, okay? Doing this consistently. First of all, you're giving your brain a mental picture of you saying the thing to yourself, looking at you saying the thing, saying the affirmation. All right. Whatever you say to yourself, whatever you repeat is an affirmation, even if it's horrible. Okay. Even if it's terrible stuff, even if it's, oh, nobody's ever loved me and nobody ever will, or my family has messed me up so bad that I'll never have a good relationship. Whatever it is you tell yourself consistently and with emotion is what your brain will believe. Okay? If you switch it around and start using the good stuff, positive stuff, saying that on a regular basis, that's what your brain will believe. Your brain has no concept of make believe, okay? It does not know if you are pretending to feel a certain way. If you say something with emotional, like inflection, and you look yourself in the eye while you're doing it, and you say it with meaning, you say it with force, you say it like you mean it with all your heart, your brain doesn't know that that's pretend. All it is doing is recording you saying it and playing it back. That's what it's doing. It has no idea how you feel about it at all. Your brain is just going to believe what you consistently tell it. So that's what I want you to be doing. Okay. Every week, I tell you an affirmation I want you to be working on that will make you feel better about yourself, make you feel good, make you feel like you are happy and worthy, and the best things come to you. If you start to think that, that starts to heal the trauma in your brain. Your brain, when you're on trauma, will believe all the terrible things about you. It'll think that you're just terrible. Everything is horrible. Everything you touch turns to ashes. It will make you believe that if you don't challenge it. Okay. So I got affirmation cards. These came from Five Below, but I mean, you can get them everywhere. Etsy, Amazon, whatever. Get yourself a deck of them so you can shuffle them up and tell yourself good stuff on a regular basis, okay? But what I want you to do is look yourself in the eye and repeat after me like you mean it with all your heart, okay? Today, I feel worthy. Today, I will accept all of the wonderful things in this life because those wonderful things want to find you. They want to work with you. They want to be there with you. So today, I feel worthy. Today, I will accept all the wonderful things in this life. Okay? Repeat it, say it, believe it, internalize it, hold on to it, okay? I need you all to believe the good in yourself. You all are good, loving, kind women. You want to forgive. You want to open your heart. You want to heal from bad things happening to you. You're doing all the right things. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing at all. I just want you to continue on. I want you to feel strong about it. I want you to feel like you can follow through with it and you can get to where you really want to be, which is happy in a healthy relationship, loving. I am super happy. It is 16 years later for me, and we are happy. He's a better and better husband every year. He does better, he acts better, he gives more, he understands me more every single year. So it's worth it. It really is. When you get to the place of forgiveness and understanding and compassion with somebody that you really, really love, and you make that be the default for your entire relationship, there's a lot of happiness to be found in that. Okay. There really is. I understand that it's so dangerous. I know that your heart could be hurt. I completely understand that. Mine hurt my heart over and over again for years. It was about 4 straight years that he hurt my heart over and over again, but he stopped. So once a cheater, not always a cheater. Okay. Anybody can stop. Anybody can do better. If you making the choice and you're saying, I believe this person can do better, I believe you. I think you're right. I think that you are dead on. I don't think that you would be wasting your time with somebody who was not capable of the change. I believe you. And if that is true, that they can change, that they are worth the effort of you forgiving and experiencing that change, I think that you're absolutely right. And I think that you should go for it. I think you should open yourself up. I think you should go ahead and try your best to heal and move past all of this pain and trauma to a better place. I think that that is a beautiful thing. It can be done about 28 to 30 months. I used to say about a year. Realistically, it's about 28 to 30 months. If you are working on the steps to the dreams formula, like I told you about, get a copy, absolutely free copy, and work those steps day by day by day. I promise you, it'll start to get better. It'll start to get much better. And of course, if you are with me and he's still with the person, he's still with the other girl, he is causing you heartache and pain, you can't get him to pay attention, go in the group and I need you to do the 180, okay? If you are trying so hard to make him understand and you just can't do it, you can't get him to get on the same page with you, I want you to go put in 180 into the search and get the 180. Okay. The 180 is absolutely excellent. It will help you. It will change things faster than you think. So work on that. If you're just at the place where he's still stuck on this person, he's still messing with this girl, he's not doing what he's supposed to do, you do the 180. I promise you things will start to be immediately different as soon as you start working on it consistently. Okay. All right, y'all. I think that's it. I don't have any more questions. Don't see any more up here. Oh, goodness. I'm so glad that you were here with me today. I love to see you every Thursday for the Healing Hour Live. If you are catching this on the replay, please feel free to DM me, message me, my Love Coach Dasha Facebook, my Love Coach Dasha DMs over on Instagram. Ask me, talk to me, let me know what's going on with you. I want to know, I want to help. Okay, I got lots and lots of answers to give, and I would be happy to give them to you if you go ahead and hook up with me. Okay. Alrighty, y'all. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I will see you again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays for the Healing Hour Live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure that you join me again next week. Oh, and do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice, do not ask the questions, and do your affirmations. And that's about it. I love you, and I'm so, so proud of you. And I will talk to you again next week for the Healing Hour Live. Bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on YouTube and Facebook. Bye.